this is from several years ago. Islamic Institute for Counter-Zionist American Psychological Warfare. So this has a place in Oakland, here, and then it has a thing where we was on Fox News. A lot of people remember that Fox News because, see, Sean Hannity would intimidate other people. And one of the brothers was telling me about, in fact, it was a tattletale. He said, no, your body language was clear. I don't care nothing about y'all, and I'm not impressed with whatever you're talking about. And he said, that was clear. He said, that if people picked that up alone, which they did, because now I want you to remember, after that, I didn't show up on literally nothing. The Zionists talked about me, but they didn't never give me a shot at explaining anything about what we're about. They always was going to explain it because they said, no, we can't scare the nigga. We can't offer him nothing. And one of the guys from one of the big channels down in Atlanta, this was during that same period. He came here for an interview, a couple of interviews, and then he played them down there. And he said, man, he gave me the ratings. He said first rating was 3 point something or other, and everybody else, the highest they would get would be 1.7 on a news program. He said his second program was a 4 point something or other, the next day. Anyway, so Islamic Institute for Counter-Zionist American Psychological Warfare. So that means that we met the Zionists on the highest stage of action. That's what we've done. And evidently by the language, we don't care. Or it's not that we're disrespectful, but in a way we are. Everybody else, the Zionists whipped them to death, like CARE, like the other people. Hey man, they just fear the Zionists. And we got the Zionist number, like I mentioned it before, like one of the old boxers. He had Muhammad Ali. Could nobody else mess with Muhammad Ali, but he could. I had his name on it. And he actually beat Muhammad in one fight. The guy, he came back, Muhammad came back. But he just had a silly, unorthodox style. And Muhammad wasn't, he had his number. So no matter how bad someone is, you get their number, like the Zionist. In the world, in the Arab world, Hezbollah has the Zionist number. So in 2006, now we gave the same prognostication earlier, but in 2006, Hezbollah, when you saw the Zionists on TV, some of them were crying real tears, big tears. We can't see them, we can't find them. I said, maybe they're doing the ghost, they got the ghost shirts on or something. We can't find them, and they were crying. So that means, look, the Israelis had 4 and 5 generation weapons. And the brothers in Lebanon, Hezbollah, had combined 2nd and 3rd generation weapons, right? To be able to combat their 4th and 5th generation, which nobody else could do that. But they used them in a different configuration, a different combination. And they was able to wear out Plus, they wasn't afraid of the Zionists. That's the main thing. Okay. So Hezbollah has always been our friend. This is from 2012, what it's called the Great Recovery. A setback ain't nothing but a setup for a comeback. In this, we tell about our story, our challenges, what we're about, what we've been doing, and we're talking about Imam Musa has been excluded from the mainstream platform of accepted speakers. In the meantime, he has survived over 30 years of attacks mounted by saboteurs, agent provocateurs, informers, and collaborators. Thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Imam Musa's organization has endured more fitna and lasted much longer than any other similar organization in U.S. history. That was 10 years ago. It's 2012. So instead of 30 years, it's 40 years now that we've been doing this. What we was doing 10 years ago, you can see yourself, since you've been here, we have endured, right? We've just endured. And like this great recovery, we was faking the recovery. We was going through the motions like we're going to do this. We're doing the recovery now. Nobody would have 10 years not to play with, but 10 years just to box. It's like an exhibition. Exhibition match, not a championship match. It's an exhibition. So we have boxed with the Zionists in public for all these 10 years to show the people, look, watch this footwork. The Zionists ain't nothing. Y'all scared of a Zionist? And watch what we do. Bop! You scared of America, the boss man? You scared of him? Watch this. Bop, bop, bop. And all the stuff we've done in that period proves, if we're here now, which we are, these are just certificates for here. This is legal stuff. It's some of our legal stuff from California. But they just took our property and let somebody else have it. That's fine. Wonderful. Right? We'll get it back when we want it. That's one of the other things. They've been trying to get us back out there for years. We ain't going. When we go, we're going when we want to go. The battle that we are involved in is a battle that we have charge of. The United States government have been moving in certain ways, like when you remember the FBI came by here, they were setting up things so we would fall in. They wanted to collaborate then, but they wanted to collaborate on their terms. That's why we've been always saying, no. You get down and we know you get lying anyway, but you're going to acknowledge in front of us, right, where you coming from, where we coming from, and you're going to acknowledge that. And if you don't, we're going to do what we want continuously. So they're losing patience with themselves because we have carried this thing on 10 or 15 years beyond what they thought. They thought they just throw out an olive branch or a little bit of this and we'll snap at it. No. We done learned our lessons. Okay. This is 2008, American Gangster phase, Malcolm X phase, our current phase. So we've been under strategic management and conditions of repression for a long time. This is one of our conferences in 2008, It was a national conference. Okay, if you look at some of these pictures, you would see, I don't know if you've seen any of these, but this is an Eid, and it's just packed with people. Yeah, I've seen that picture before. Okay, if you see there's our school, there's all of our children, these people are grown and graduated from university now, right? Okay, so we were doing that then. We're not going to do that now because we're in a different stage. Islamic Institute for Counter-Zionist American Psychological Warfare, da 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 da. So whatever it is we've been doing, we've been setting the stage. On the back is Eid Mubarak. We're going to have another letter for Eid Mubarak, but we're going to have a letter. In fact, I'm write it this evening, and maybe tomorrow you can. But we're going to put out our own. See, like we went out last week, and so if we go out just on Fridays, we won't have time to build up not a following, but people who recognize. As soon as they see us, they recognize. So probably about 3 nights a week or more, I'm going to go out to places and I'm going to pass out flyers. The flyer that we're getting ready to make up. And that flyer, yeah, that will explain a lot of what we're talking about, you know. These are some of the old flyers about the forgotten ummah. You know what I mean? You can see, so we have always been, all of our flyers, all of our programs that we were doing at whatever time we was doing have always been, we got these things that prove it. That prove we not only had the program, but we had the idea. Repunk the FBI, you probably seen some of those. Da, 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 da. Building Islamic Dream in Southeast D.C. These our children this is Fatima then, so they was like, this is this is 15 years ago at least. But that's what we were doing at that time. But we're not going to repeat that. We've already done that. Friend raiser, not a fundraiser, but a friend raiser. You know, that's what no, friend raiser. Bombing patterns, you know, talking about the patterns of bombing, reaching our goals, building our dreams, and all of that stuff. Letter of introduction to D.C. area community. I don't know if you remember seeing any of this. This is a letter to the Christian community. We passed them out at various churches. If this is Sunday, we'd be out passing them out. And we passed them out in Oakland. Now we'll actually actualize some of this stuff. Yeah. But see, the reason I'm just going over this so that people that see this, when they look and see, you guys ain't got no friends and nobody come to your programs, nobody, well, stay at home. You know, stay at home. We've already been doing our job. We get our reward, our ajr from what we do, not from what you do.
We're going to take care of our own hereafter.
Yeah, that's right. You got to get your own. You got to look out for your own akira. Open letter to the D.C. police. That's just stuff we did. Islamic Institute for Counter-Zionist American Psychological Warfare. We really had a lot of programs, and we played that up pretty much, you know. So As-Sabiqun have been busy doing what we think Allah wanted us to do, a great recovery. This is a recovery. So if we announce we're going to make a big, great recovery, what is Boss Man going to do? Come out to us. So if we want him to make a move, all we do is threaten, we getting ready to go, Boss Man, and here he come, right? So once he ran his game, it gives us time to view, to analyze. We're not getting ready to do nothing. We're just going to watch what he's just doing. And we might do it 2 or 3 times in a row. Pretty soon, you got to realize boss man is slow. Oh, yes, indeed, he's slow. But nobody ever tries him to show that he's slow. Nobody has ever gotten involved with him to be able to weigh and measure and estimate his power and authority. Because they're always watching him on, ooh, he'll do this and he'll do that. And if that's the way they look at him, that's what he'll do to them. And they'll scare him to death. Well, suppose you can see from our policy that we ain't never been scared of boss man. And Zionists neither. While everybody else watched Imam Luqman get martyred and what have you, we're the only ones that had